This is oil change on one of these Chinese excavators with the 420cc engine. I like to pick the front up just to get all the oil out and make it less of a mess. If it does make a mess, it'll flow right down and into the catch pan. So this particular one uses a 12 millimeter. And this one, I took the door off just for cooling. It's right there. But this is a MX12R AGT. I think this is one of the easier ones to work on because this whole back, it'll open up, or like I said, I take it off and there's plenty of room to work in here, I think. Get on there. Go from underneath. Do this while filming. I'm right-handed, so this is kind of hard for me. Hopefully this ain't gonna spill everywhere. Go. Looks like a washer, sealing washer. Now I changed this when I first got it, and I don't know if you guys watch any of my other videos, but 42 hours on it. It takes right at, I think they're right under a quart, but I just put the whole quart in them. That's just how I roll. But like I said, with it tilted back like this, the oil doesn't want to pool and start going over here and coating everything. It just, that little bit, and then drips right down. Makes it a whole lot easier, I think. Snug it up. Wipe her down. Normally I'll put this oil in a quart jug just so I know exactly how much to put in, but we'll have to wing it. And I like to use this Rotella T6 on dirt bikes, any small engine. 540. Okay, let that go in there and then we'll check her. Son of a bee. Drop the dang dipstick in the oil. unless it specifies, which, I mean, nobody knows about these, but I'm pretty sure the Predator engines are the same. Unless it specifies, I just set it in the hole, don't screw it in to check the oil. And I'm just putting enough in there to go ahead and lower this all the way back down. Give it a sec for the oil to drain back. Low. That's why I like having just a single quart. You just go buy a quart of oil, dump her in, good to go. And if you're worried about doing the method I said, just pushing this in the hole and checking the oil, you can always leave it a little bit up, down from the high mark to take up for the thread length. Get the old oil. This had some black old oil in it, but it's still clean. Like I said, it's 1 quart. I'll change it every chance I get. Oh. That's exactly what was in there. Might have been old diff fluid, I don't know. I pour a bunch of all my old used oil in a 5-gallon bucket, and then we're gonna have a bonfire. It's perfect juice for it. Let that drain. And I'm gonna be doing a lot more content with trucks and cars and trailers. This is actually what I haul this on. Just a 5x10 metal ramp. Haven't had a single issue with it. I'm not certain, but I'm pretty positive that's a 3,500 pound axle, 5 lug. Generally, these size wheels and tires are 3,500 pound. But this is actually my brother's, just old trailer we've had forever. Now, I should have done a video on my son's little CRF 50. I redid the top end on it. He's getting to a point where he needs a bigger bike. That's just a basket case. This is the size he needs. This is a Cobra. This thing's ragged out. I mean, it's just for parts mainly. But this was getting a little slow for him, and rather than getting a 88 big bore kit, I searched on Amazon, and they have some Chinese 70 for the CRF 70, just rebuild kits, and it comes with a whole head, intake, and everything. think it was $50, and so I put that's a CRF 70 cylinder, piston, and head, which is all bigger, obviously, than the 50. Bigger intake, and that thing woke up with me on it. Second gear, it'll pull power wheelies. Actually, so much so that this is the second tube this has spun. The wheel is spinning in the tire, and I've aired this up rock hard, and it still spins. Not to say that a little China 70 rebuild kit is a lot of power, but for these little bikes, it actually is. And Amazon special pipe. CRF 50 bar, or CRF 70 bars, I think. Oh God. This is actually the cylinder head for the 50. See how small that is. Nothing was wrong with it. It actually smoked a little bit, but that's the head. This is the little cylinder. I mean, this thing's a itty bitty. This is the piston for it. I mean, this is almost a weed whacker. I mean, obviously there are 50 cc's, but, and this is a 250cc piston. I did a top end on I have a little Suzuki LTZ 250. Someone did some sketchy stuff, got it blown up, cranked, no compression, and took it apart. The whole bottom of the piston was just gone, and what was stamped on there was a standard piston. So I bought a 1-up, which is what this is. Turned out to already be bored over, so I don't know how that worked out, if they put a messed up, broken standard piston in it and then sold it to me, or actually got it practically free. I sold them a dirt bike and they traded that with it, but ended up all working out. I had to go 2 sizes up and hadn't had an issue with it. That's the wear it had. It ran fine, it just, I mean, it had a lot of piston slap. That wear is 10 minutes of ride time. $100. Oh well. Some more RC stuff. Could have done a video on intake on my truck. Might do some more 3D printing videos. This is all 3D printed. Battery holders, power tool holders. This is 3D printed. It's supposed to hold one of those, but it's, I mean, just shy of being too small. You have to shove it in there, so. But every single one of these are 3D printed. The little box is 3D printed. This skid steer is fully 3D printed. Everything on it tracks. Body for like a SCX24 or TRX4M. Paper towel holder is printed. These slide out, reload it. What's going on here? There it goes. 3D printed little piston skull. Believe it or not, 3D printing comes in handy. These wrench holders, 3D printed. Each one of these snap together. You can just add as you need. Not sure what else is 3D printed. this, I think I went over it in one of my other videos. This used to be a foot for the auxiliary. I cut it off and added a pipe just for finer adjustment. This is 3D printed, I designed, just a little knob. It's tight fit. This I also designed to hold it, so this isn't, there's a lot of slop in it. Obviously the longer it is, the more slop that's noticeable, but just so it's not hitting you in the knee, it just pops right in. But this, I haven't had a lick of problems with this excavator. I love this bucket, not necessarily the tilt, because it seems to bleed off and you have to adjust it back straight and level. But it was the same price as just a standard 32-inch bucket without the tilt, so I figured might as well get it to have it. It's not that big of a hindrance, but if you don't absolutely need a tilt, I would just go with a straight bucket. And it would also delete some of this space, because I have the quick hitch on there, so that takes away digging power. And then all this takes away digging power as well, because this would have been mounted, these ears would be down here, probably about where this pin is. So 4 or 5 inches or so. It works, but this is probably my favorite mod I've done. 2.5-inch exhaust clamps that clamp it to the cylinder. And this is 14 gauge sheet metal. Nothing fancy, obviously. I put a slight bend in it. Still get to the top grease cert. Added this to go out to meet the blade, so it's not just packing dirt on this bottom joint. And that's probably my favorite mod I've done to this so far. Other than the seat recline, you can see it kind of matches that bar. Still haven't painted it, kind of ugly, but going backwards, chilling and leaning back and just pulling these back, it makes how fast this thing tracks not really an issue, because you're just sitting back chilling. No issue with the weight. Welded that receiver head straight to this plate, no issue. And then I welded this weight straight to the hitch. And I did, I think 3 passes, and it ain't going nowhere. And just tacked these in 4 places, just because I don't know if, I thought I was going to change it, but who knows. If I need to grind this back off and use these for something else. I plan on getting a skid steer sooner or later, because I bought this mainly to try to make some money with it, and I had a few projects around the house I could do, but a skid steer would be more useful for me day to day on my place. So we'll see. Other than that, thank you guys for watching.